Hi everyone, this is Arbutus, and this is Disco Elysium. Let's get back into it. We're investigating a union lynching here in Revacol, and besides that, we don't really know too much about what's going on. Our partner here, Kim Kitsuragi, was sent down here
Yes.
simply to assist us with this investigation here. Let's see, maybe he has something to tell me. What do you want to know? If we're from different precincts, why are we on the same case? I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a, he considers the phrasing, a pissing competition. What do you mean? You don't know? His eyes narrow. I assumed you were in on it. I don't remember being in on anything. That's good. Alright, tell me about it. New task, the pissing competition. It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim. Alright, I'm going to let it go for now. That's all I need from him for now as well. I don't want to get into that amnesia thing with him. Alright, let's get out of here. He's got nothing for me right now. Let's talk to this guy leaning on a truck.
I'm a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler.
The man mutters to himself, accenting the beats as he goes. A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes. Keep listening.
Another planet. Hey there.
What's going on here?
Yeah, my man.
He motions towards the sprawl of lorries with a sweeping gesture. The air from the east is thick with the crude smell of crude oils, heavy metals, and other byproducts of the modern era. You can almost taste it.
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates of the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck.
Sounds pretty
Meanwhile,
bad.
we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days upon days.
Limbo, huh? So that's where I
Yeah,
am.
Exactly.
It's official. He too agrees. This is the antechamber of the afterlife. So how long have you been here?
Feels near forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout.
Mazout is an antiquated term for heavy fuel oils. This man has a barely suppressed performative streak, or he just likes unusual words. Or both. I dig your style, man.
Imagine. It's been a whole week already.
He snickers in appreciation of the digging of his
So tell
style.
me, what do you need?
Know anything about the dead man, the one hanging behind the hostel there? He ain't one of us drivers, I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really been asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy. It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He kept his nose out of the dark stuff. Busy? With what? Analyzing the fundamental structure and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs. Ask for his conclusion. Wait, what? Nothing, he smiles. I'm just messing with you, man. Don't mind my idle verbosity. Tell me more about this strike. It's like whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands, no way in or out. Going on strike would probably help you dodge a bullet or two. That's probably true. What's the union demanding? Some pretty wild stuff out here, like a giant new power crane and half the company. I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town too, like a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's up, precise demands and so on. Ah yes, from the Wild Pines, he takes a note. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure. What do you think the company wants? They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. He makes a ka-ching sound. He doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side, that's for sure. Anything else I should know? Anything else? He thinks. Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do. All of who? Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. A few still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere, to get drunk, or high, or laid. Smiles awkwardly. Not that I blame them, really. Not you, though? Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing, He glances down the road towards the horizon, a glint of something in his eyes. He tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if he's trying to conceal something warm and deep beneath a cool exterior. What are you hauling anyway? Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that. Relax, he's merely joking. Wicked. I've always wanted a friend in the underworld. Haha, no, I'm joking, my man, he grins. Fallen runs a nice, clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, tracksuits and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grad in the Occident, though we've been making headway in the how do you pronounce this? Ilmarin market lately. Let's see, could I get one of those Fallen tracksuits you're hauling? We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy. That's your machine behind you? This rockin' beauty? He points to the lorry with his thumb. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery? A motor lorry, also called a camion on Kailu and the neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of a Fallen rust bucket. Maybe the A6? That a Fallen A6 you got there? Good eye, my man. Yep, she's an old one, but reliable. He gives the side of the lorry a friendly knock. Me and her spent a long time together. Right, I had another question. The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm. I'm not even gonna try that. I'm good for now. Good talk. Don't be a stranger. He gives a salute with 2 fingers. Cool. You know what? I'm gonna head... Oh man, I forget where it was now. I think it was to the east that they said there was a Fritte, which I guess is like the kind of store they've got here. Yeah, I can get around all this. That's good, that's good. What's this? A bold slogan, Humanox, covers the truck. Cool. Horseback Monument. An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing towards the sea. Looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods. Yeah, this thing's barely strung up. Who is this? Silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, I am Felipe III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Felipe II, the opulent, father of Felipe IV, the insane. As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There's some odd indentations on the king's chest piece. Yeah, got the encyclopedia. Perception, sight. As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There's some odd indentations on the king's chest piece. Even by the standards of the Philippian kings, old sumptuous Felipe was known for his profligacy. In what way? Well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers, the suzerain of Revachol. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy during the anticentennial revolution, and to end his family line and the monarchy on the Insulindian Isola. How did he manage to blow through the entire national treasury? Stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry, armor, and various chalices. He called it the Sol Arum. It was obscene. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers like some obese dragon, instead of a bed like a normal person. Wait, really? There's no way that's true. But wait, you haven't even heard about the fabled cocaine addiction. The what now? You see, old Felipe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry. He was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy. This is a lot to process. His Majesty's courtiers said it helped him connect with the higher realms. So he is addicted to nose candy, a bloated druggie? That's what the revolutionaries said. 150 years later, right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains in the Insulindian Bay. Okay, where's he buried now? Beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay, thrown there by revolutionaries after they cleaned out the royal mausoleum. What happened to the statue? The original was blown apart by communards, then further damaged during the landing of the coalition's airships during the turn-of-the-century revolution, when Martinez was leveled. Most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it to even finer pieces. Who restored it? Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue to the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber floating on a sea of shit. That's brilliant, so funny and nihilistic. People in Martinet tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics and thought leaders with more nuanced social awareness than the young ironists. Those critics might have it wrong, though. There's more to it than just ironism, but you can't say what precisely. Perhaps this art mystery will be solved at a later time? I've got some experience out of it. Felipe III, the Squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem to be concerned about what the hoi polloi think of him in death. Not that he ever did in life, either. What indentations? What do I see? Something with great kinetic energy seems to have impacted the cuirass around where the heart is. A bullet? Someone shot him in the heart. Interesting. Lieutenant, someone has shot the king? Point to the indentation. Okay. He cleans his glasses before looking up. I can't see it, but I'll take your word for it. What do you think? Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the Revolution, but the statue is recently renovated. Or maybe a joke? Target practice? Or political statement? I think it's probably political. Why not? He shrugs. What this shows us is guns aren't too uncommon here, and people will still shoot them, sometimes at kings. He takes a note in his notebook. The king stands high above you, surveying the bay, mute and indifferent to your sightings. Alright, interesting. This is kind of cool. It's like it's being blown up. I like that. Got some good ironism, as they say. Foreign car, kept in good condition. Estas Rocco, one of the finest Smysk-made motor carriages ever. An oldie but a goldie. Who drives these? Not many people outside of Grad. The Revicol West, too, it appears. Hey, Kim, check this out. Stas Ryko KK2, that's a classic model, the lieutenant replies with a nod. Never thought I'd see another one repainted after what happened last time. Hold on, maybe I can impress him. Do I know what happened last time? No. Only that the motor carriage is typically baby blue, the colors of... Come on. Sigismund the Great, an ancient Zaimsk ruler. His banners were famously zafir and white, the colors of the Stas Ryko. Let me guess what happened last time, Kim. Blue and white are the colors of Zaimsk. Someone painted it, got a Zaimsk mad, and boom, murder happened. That's, well, yes, exactly it, more or less. Except it was a crowd of them. Tore him out of the vehicle and ran him over with his own tires. They said it was an honor killing, hussar style. The Zaimsk community protested the trial, flying the colors. He shakes his head. 5,000 came to protest. Correction, 4,395. The fourth largest public protest of a criminal trial in Revicol. Kim, could our hanged man have been the driver of this car? I try to avoid drawing far-gone conclusions like this before actually examining the body, the lieutenant says with a slight smirk, but my initial guess is the two are unrelated. Got it. Finish the thought. Don't want to say too much more about this. Thought complete. Volumetric shit compressor. Oh, cool. We got our shit together. Yeesh. What is going on up here? What the hell? Is that a rock giving birth to a deformed fetus with... Oh my goodness. Bizarre scientific news from Revicol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit-togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shit singularity lasts. All endurance white checks unlocked. Learning cap for endurance raised to 4. Oh shit, sweet. Cool. Alright, we're still thinking about the long way home as well. Well, my shit has been compressed. Let's go get back on the quest here. Take the long way around, I suppose. Wild Pines. Where did we see the Wild Pines jacket? I forget now. We'll find it. Alright, back to the body. Shit has been compressed. We are neutron star levels of together. And let's check it out. Alright, 72% chance now. The corpse appears to laugh at you, black froth bubbling on its lips. Every molecule in this body reeks of death. It's still too much. You feel it coming up again. Oh, are you kidding me? 72% chance failure. I've got my gloves. I've got my freaking shit together. Even though I got my shit compressed? How is it possible? I'm at a loss as well. I could swear your shit was together, detective. Sometimes even not that is not enough. Life is unfair. Well, what do I do now? Officer, you just need to be stronger. Learn to keep it in long enough for us to work. There's nothing else to do. You can open this white check again by going into your character sheet and spending a skill point on upgrading your endurance skill. To gain experience, do side cases. Maybe it's okay if you don't make it today. The dead man isn't going anywhere. There's always other things to do. Alright. Well, I fucking tried. I don't think I checked this out, though. Why am I looking at you, trash container? You're just a trash container. Just a trash container? There's no such thing. Your fingers start to itch just looking at that padlock. How do we get the lock open? We could try using a tri-bar, the one you took from my motor carriage, or Lieutenant? Or we could ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has one. Might also have information. This is better than the pry-bar idea. Okay. Let's see. I also happen to know, or at least it was hinted that there was more ammonia in here. I wonder if I can combine my shit togetherness with ammonia, if maybe I'd had better luck. But either way, let's take a look in this dumpster. Off to talk with Gart. What's up, Gart? How's it garden?
Can I help you?
Is the trash container out back yours? Mine? No, it belongs to the Whirling in Rags. Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked? Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out, that's why. And the neighbors, too. They put their trash there, and they don't pay for the garbage company. I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the trash container? Well, yes. Us and the garbage disposal company. It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you. I wonder what this feeling is. Prod at him and find out. We need those keys. No, I understand. What do you need them for? It concerns the case. The lieutenant's voice is harsh and sudden. Please cooperate. He takes the keys from under the counter and hands them to you. Just bring them back once you're done, please. Alright, let's get out of here. Gart really doesn't like me. I'm assuming he'll like me more if I can pay him. But right now, my $8 isn't going to cut that. So, figure out how to make some money. I remember people, or maybe it was one of these loading screen tips actually, said that you can collect bottles with a bag out of things like trash cans and sell them at the Frite Mart. So I don't know. I don't know if we can get $100 from that, but maybe we can get a little something. Open the padlock with the key. With a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Open the lid. Got some experience. Good. I'd love to level up one more time. That would be awesome, because then maybe I'll get the endurance I need to deal with this body. Smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. We're just in time. The lieutenant peers in. This hasn't been emptied for over a week. Let's see. Let's start at the top. Look under the boxes of carton. Not sure exactly what that means. You see milk, an egg rest with one broken egg in it, some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar. You've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows, the methodology in your fingers. You're used to this. Used to what? Dumpster diving? No. Searching for evidence in the trash. Alright, that's good. We're going to dive further in. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below and turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however. Let's check out these rags. Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers? Grab them. As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air. Oh, great. The victim's clothes? The lieutenant smells them. Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. The lieutenant produces from a black plastic bag marked evidence from his pocket. Drop them in here, officer. Bag 'em. Kim quickly searches the jeans. Guitar marked blue jeans, pockets empty, or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too, a wide belt. The loops appear stretched, but he looks into the container. The belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here. Something slimy catches your eye. Yeah, let's reach for it. A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus. Oh, chill. Let's bag it. This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. He nods to himself. Anything more? The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye. But other than that, a thrown-out towel, a mug, that's all. All right, we should go to Gart again and ask him if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard, or that one. He nods toward the red-haired boy behind him. I'd advise against confronting that force. Yeah, these kids did kill me one time. They were so mean to me that I died from morale loss. So I agree with Kim about not messing with these kids. Let's see. You think someone from the Whirling might have been involved, maybe? Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked, and this establishment had the key. It's just a small, loose thread. Okay. The lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container. Let's check the food waste. It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels mostly, unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, what's this? What? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny, like the corner of something. Pick it out. Item gained, we got a damaged ledger. Oh, damn, I was hoping that would be my badge. Something larger, a clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes written in a man's handwriting. Officer, is that your paperwork? I don't know what this is. Secret task. Oh, secret task. Find your paperwork. Nice. It is. Look. He points to the clipboard. The plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there. Miserable looking piece of paper sticks to the board. If you don't mind me asking, how could you have let your paperwork end up in the trash? Let's see. How honest with Kim do I want to be? He seems like a good guy and largely a good cop. Whatever. Must have been cramping my style. Officer, this is an official piece of paperwork. It probably contains notes on numerous ongoing investigations and could even list undercover operatives, informants. I suggest integrating it into your style, for all our sakes. Easier said than done. How could this pathetic cabbage of copy paper and plastic ever become trade disco? Challenge accepted. You should be on the lookout for stylistic elements that elevate this cabbage to heights unforeseeable. Alright then, seems like a good idea. Right after the garbage, of course. Except... Good choice. Soggy cartons and some kind of food sludge welcome you back, invitingly. Officer, the lieutenant adds, this is sensitive information. You need to take this seriously. Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to get sober here. Okay, I'll do that. Read your ledger and name the case. It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. He peers into the trash, where soggy cartons and rags stink, uninvitingly. Hey, they were just inviting me before. These rags have totally changed their tune. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see, or are we finished? Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory and find the Interact tab to read your paperwork. Okay. Inventory. I can't open my inventory while I'm in here. Oh, what is this? Map? Oh, these are my... tasks or challenges, whatever, the white and red challenges that I haven't been able to finish yet. So like I might be able to suggest something to Annette. Interesting. Okay, dokes, and no map going on yet here. Maybe I will get that because apparently that clipboard had a map on it. Cool. The mug. Getting that mug, too. You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron. Yikes. An antique? Only in its social sensibility. The man briefly glances at the mug, then returns his sight to the trash. Alright, you never know. Yeah, speaking of it, Kim may not be super cool with this racist depiction. The container sounds a muffled gong as you close it. That's one thing off the list. The lieutenant sounds relieved. I think we got it all. Alright, let's get out of here. Okay, let's check the old inventory here. Interact. We're going to interact with the damaged ledger. Nice banana peel. This is the ledger you found in the trash. It's full of notes written in a man's dense cursive. Have a closer look. Maybe it can be salvaged to start keeping notes on the case. Interact button in the inventory. Use interact button in the inventory to inspect the item. What do you mean? Yellow Man mug. This broken-eared mug somehow made its way into the Whirling in Rags dumpster. It depicts a person of Cimarron descent frolicking in a field of saffron flowers, buck-toothed and grinning feeble-mindedly. It seems to be a cheap knockoff of some colonial-era antique. That's a big ol' oof. Interact button. Interact. What do you mean? Neck held, bullets held, hat, glasses. Aha. This button here. The big old bright red interact button. Damaged ledger. It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner. I think I got it. Right, what more do you need? A rubber condom stuck to the back? Graffito that says defeated? I think you catch the drift. Inspect the clip. An aluminum block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip. Run your fingers along the aluminum. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. Looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances. Hey, Lieutenant, what's this? Point to the sticker. What? He is lost in his own notes. It takes a moment for him to see it. That thing? It's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property. How can I read it? Any capable light with the right wavelength will do. Like, for example, all RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too. Cool. We can read that on his car. This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn on the lights. Sweet. That's all from that. Okay. He returns to his neatly kept notes, while a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand. It's a sorry sight. Browse the white papers. They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendril across the entire pages. The paper itself is checkered with faint red lines forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that claims, Case files, commit to paper. The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible. What is in here? What are they about? Work? Strife? Poverty? The Jamrock Quarter? These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51. I'm about to say 19. That ain't when we is right now, everybody. This year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages, and an odd naming convention, but there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases, undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average. What do you mean? Is that all? 2 cases a week on average? This doesn't seem too crazy. Is 2 cases a week a good caseload? Huh? He raises his nose from his notes. 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes. 2 cases a week appears to have been my load, Lieutenant. I'm not sure if I completed them, though. 2? He raises both eyebrows. That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you're making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me. I'm sure I made plenty of mistakes. That's okay. He nods, then turns back to his own case files. We all make mistakes. Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible. There's mention of a naming convention here? Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case numbers written on the margins, yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. A title, one might say, even. One that draws inspiration from Snoop fiction and Vespertine cop show staples. Oh my, and they're written in capital letters, too. Yep, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another, The Unsolvable Case. Others appear more lighthearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor, even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Later, once you're done inspecting them up close. Kim, my cases appear to employ some kind of naming convention. You mean the alphanumeric officer precinct time of arrival at the scene? No, I mean a non-numeric one, with titles. Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does. Why is that? It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution when organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves. I seem to have a case, the Square Bullet Hole Murders. Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one. He peeks into his notes. The man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, just to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out. What happened to him? Rail spike through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident. Let's see. That's it? The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover, a molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more. Count the pages. I have to open an official case. Is there room? There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case will be complete. Yeah, let's commit it to paper. Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event. Interfacing the ledger comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It will do, barely, but... Kim, do you have a pen? Lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder like large-caliber bullets on an ammo belt. He's not really saying anything, just standing there looking at them. Fine, I'll just use this crappy pencil. Absolutely motionless at first, then animated slowly, imperceptibly even, the lieutenant begins to browse his notes again, leaving you to the case files. You start scratching the tasks you've completed onto the paper with the brash freehand, uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily, it's almost robotically simple. Language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place. Cross out the ones you've already finished. A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you. Let's see, finishing cases heals morale. Interesting. You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good. It feels like completion. Actually, I'm using a pencil. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the Citizens Militia. Now all that remains is to name the case. Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case? No, actually. Any ideas? The Hanged Man, The Furies Are at Home in the Mirror, The Setting Sun, Shit on a Stick. I'm gonna go with this one because I know this game used to be named after the Furies, so, you know what, pay a little homage to this game's original title. The Furies are at home in the mirror. Furies? Yes. Well, it's obvious he doesn't like it. I don't know. I have to be honest, I'm not experiencing the internal strife that refers to, and also, he furrows his brow. Could we make it less poetic somehow? Just a normal case name, you know? Think, what would that be? A good, normal name. Pretty sure this is all meta. Yeah. They're just looking for a less poetic name. Something like Disco Elysium. I wish that was an option. Yes, you know what that normal name is, but it's so plain. Anything else, please. The Setting Sun. Okay, he nods. It's a good name, but it has one problem. This case has got nothing to do with the setting sun. At all. It has nothing to do with that, so... Something more concrete, perhaps? Do you have something concrete? Mundane? Usual? Alright, the Hanged Man. Great, that's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. Alrighty. Hey, we finally got a skill point. Level up. Awesome. I'm going to put that into endurance. He flips the pages of his notebook. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out. I'm done with the case files. Let's see. Can I read them now? You don't exactly close them so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now. Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 4112200:00, the next world mural. Wait, HDB41, weren't those officer precinct? Why, yes, your precinct number is 41, and HDB? Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it, and these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials. Wow, I don't know what to say to that. I got nothing here either. Logic really isn't the best faculty to have this conversation with, but it's the one you got. So sorry. How long does it take to read a case? It takes about half an hour to piece one together using the systems you've devised. Where do you want to start? I wonder if this takes real-world time, or if this is going to be a kind of thought that I can work on. Let's try it. It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry found in the victim's forehead. She's been sitting there for weeks, on her rocking chair, with a square hole in her skull, staring at the wall, her mouth agape, but that's all you got. From the half hour you've spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. You never found the bullet. And then another body showed up, also with a square hole in its forehead. A sequence killer? Who knows? Those pages are missing. What next? Alright, I'm not going to waste time on this for now. I want to get some shit done. Look at the yellow papers. In the back you see thin, translucent copier paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form. What types of forms are there? 3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls, and the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work. Field autopsy, let's check that out. A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs. Alright, we got it. The rest of this stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper. Shit, let's give it a sniff. We're a sick mofo here. Rotted food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner. You know, like the bits they put into the public piss bowls, probably called Fermi Discrete or Axle or something. At some point in its journey, this ledger has seen the inside of a public toilet. I know. Sylvia already told me I dunked it in the toilet. If you knew it was dunked in the toilet before getting chucked into the trash, why are you sniffing it? The option to sniff was there, so you wanted to get in on the trash toilet stink collab? Find out what happens when these two get funky together? Okay, pal. This is getting weird and hostile. Sorry, Nose. Let's just move on. Your nose is somewhere between grateful and resentful. Let's check out the clipboard. I think it said it had a map on it. It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4-sized board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back, you see the embossed letters, RCM. Let's give it a shake. Something rattles inside ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? And something small inside? Light? Maybe of paper or cardboard? Dried flowers, perhaps? Logic. Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged if something happened to it. Oh, sweet. Let's check it out. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center. How would I open it? With your hands? U4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed at the top of the board. Yeah, we got a pretty good chance to interface. Son of a bitch. Is not what you end up doing. You squeeze the plastic to slide it open, but nothing happens. Then you bend it some. Then it cracks. The goddamn thing is stuck. Oh, come now. And I can't kind of force it open, huh? So, if I skill up in interfacing, I can maybe do that. Let's see, physique. I wonder how much another point into endurance is going to help with this right now. You know what? Let's go ahead and do it. It's kind of what we need. Uh-huh. Yeah. We're just going to take it. I have a feeling we're going to be dealing with a lot of stinky shit.